Today's episode, Podcast Collide. Sean Leary of the No Credentials podcast joins the show live in studio. We combine forces into one show, and we talk week one of the Olympics. But first, two dates. August 10th, 5:30 West Coast time. You can see me live doing stand-up comedy in the virtual world. That's right, on your computer screen. I am on the Flappers Comedy Club network doing comedy, having a full-on comedy show. flapperscomedy.com is where you go for tickets and information. See me on your computer screen, your laptop, your iPad, hell, even your iPhone if you want. That'd be weird. Also, August 12th, live in Pomona, California, I am on a stand-up show. Join me live and in the flesh. Pomona, California, 7 p.m. You can see me there. More information coming on my Instagram, on everything. Please hit me up for details if needed. On the show today, Sean Leary, you know him, you love him. He's been on a past episode of Running It Back where I do an interview with him. We talk about his life. But remember, Sean runs a podcast called No Credentials Sports Comedy Show. So we combine forces. We're talking Olympics. We're talking week one, opening ceremonies, hits, misses, gold moments, silver moments, bronze moments, sports that should be thrown out of the Olympics, sports that should be included in the Olympics. We get into it in a very, very patriotic episode right here, right now. Have you been watching the Olympics? I bet you have. So our reactions to week one. This is going to be part one of a 3-part series of our Olympic coverage where we join forces. Episode 1 was a lot of fun. We covered a lot of ground. So I think you're really going to enjoy it. And it's only going to get better. Here is episode 1 of the Olympics, week 1, USA, all the way. Here's me and Sean. Episode 1, week 1 of the Olympics, special edition in the home studio. We got a combined show going, this one. Sean Leary of No Credentials is joining me in-house. I'm running it back with you.
I love it.
On our 2 shows, Podcast Collide.
Podcasts collide.
Yeah, baby. But we're talking Olympics. Well, you do your show. Your show's cool because you do the sports and comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So I do sports and other stuff, but I always end up gravitating to sports.
Mm-hmm.
I always end up with sports. So this seems like a perfect pairing.
Yeah, it's a perfect marriage. I think we're both kind of in the same boat with the Olympics. We don't have credentials. So what better than sitting down and chopping it up when you don't know what you're talking about?
Exactly.
And that's why this is fantastic.
Maybe we should name it. We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I thought No Credentials was perfect for that. So that's kind of why I went with that.
Well, we have our McDonald's.
Yes, American Supplies Dasani.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's.
We have our McDonald's backdrop. We just ate McDonald's.
Red, white, and blue. I had a Big Mac.
You're
for
a Big
America.
Mac guy.
I did that for Simone. I ate that Big Mac for Simone. We got you, girl.
I love it. I love it. So we're going to talk week 1 of the Olympics. We took it all in.
And there was so much to take in, too.
Yeah, there was a lot. It seemed like it snuck up on us a little bit. Like the summer's kind of mid to halfway done, and all of a sudden,
yeah.
Olympics.
And doing an opening ceremony on a Friday night on the back end of the week, that feels a bit strange programming wise.
Yeah.
And then all of like the action that we were able to see started on a Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would like that to maybe be a Sunday night opening ceremony with games starting on Monday for the television purposes. But hey, that's just what I think.
We're talking Tokyo schedule.
Yeah.
We're dictating the rules.
Right.
In a perfect world.
But starting it so it would have started on a Saturday for them, correct? If it's 8 hours ahead and it started at 8. So that would be, it would have, or was it their Friday night that then was able?
We watched it Friday.
We've watched it
morning,
Friday
so
night.
it was probably happening their Thursday night. I'm all backwards here.
Yeah. Either way, even if it's in Tokyo time, I think maybe on a Sunday would have been just a little more. Hey, that's the start of the week. Now I'm just discombobulated on when it goes and kind of when it ends. And I don't know.
They're more efficient workers than us.
Yeah, this is more International Olympic Committee. Take what we're saying and make progress in 2024.
What about this? Let's start.
Yeah, what do we got?
Let's start big picture.
Big picture.
What's your favorite Olympic sports?
I know this is going to be a bit clandestine to America, but I'm going to go basketball. I know I don't have to watch the Olympics just to be able to watch it, but basketball is my favorite sport to watch because it's just the most nonstop and the easiest to understand. Hockey's nonstop, but I don't get it. Basketball is so easy to understand. You see the big guys, they're the best, the fastest guy. Like, it's just easy. And that's why I like it in the Olympics too. You got the American team that plays one way, and then the foreign teams play kind of a different style. And it comes and it's kind of more of like a intense battle. So it just enhances my favorite sport to watch already.
You know what's kind of cool too is the meshing point has gotten more and more broad, or maybe it's gotten more and more smooth because there's so many international players in the NBA.
Right.
So now we go to by countries, and it seems like we just keep the game going.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas before, it would be like US would steamroll majority of the countries. Every once in a while, we'd be like, oh, that's right, this guy's Australian, he's in the NBA. Oh, that's right, this Sabonis guy. Yeah. That's right.
And they always are better. They play so much better when they play for their country than when they play for their NBA team. Because, I mean, just imagine it's just like, oh, cool, I got to go give it all for the Orlando Magic Corporation. Yeah. Or I got to go give it all for Australia.
Right.
That would be, then that's why they're like, they go from 10 points a game in the NBA to 26 points per game with the Australian national team. And it's just like, wait, can you do that when you're playing for the Spurs?
Where was this effort?
Yeah.
It's also kind of weird that the finals just ended in the NBA and some of those players are playing. Durant's playing, Holiday's playing. So it is kind of cool. It's like, let's just run it back. Let's just play another game and keep that going. I like basketball, of course.
What's your favorite Olympic sport?
I recuse myself because I grew up a cycling fan. So of course I like cycling. But I almost got to recuse myself from that because I'm biased. I like gymnastics because it's the most dramatic.
Okay.
I like a couple track events. But then every time I watch like the kayaking, I think this looks excruciatingly hard. So I appreciate that it's hard. Same with water polo. That's the sport where you watch, you're like, that looks terrible from start to finish. Some sports you're like, dude, they're making it look easy. That's really hard. Water polo looks hard.
Yeah.
It looks terribly hard.
You got to swim and play sports at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like that's.
The dude not with the ball is burning a lot of calories.
Yeah.
You know, like soccer, some guy doesn't have the ball and he's just
he can just put his hands.
Water polo, you got to either you work out or you drown.
Okay.
So I can appreciate that. But I was doing some research. What are your favorite, or what are the best Olympic movies?
I think that I have an easy one for this, that my millennial friends, any millennials listening, you're going to go with me on this one. It's D2, The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure if that is in the actual Olympics, but I think it is because it's Team USA and they play Iceland. It might be one of those like cup championships, but I'm just going to assume that it's the Olympics.
It's got to get an honorable mention.
It's some sort, because isn't it in LA like in 1994? Wasn't that one, or was that back in the 80s?
It's extremely convenient.
Yeah, like it felt, if it's not an Olympic movie, please just allow it to be in this.
Yeah.
Just because that's my favorite kind of like movie about Team USA.
It's a good pick.
Okay. D2 Mighty Ducks.
I'm going to read you. I did some research.
Yeah. What do you got?
Top 5 Olympic movies that I found on a couple different polls. Very, very interesting.
Can I try and guess a couple? I haven't seen your list.
You haven't seen the list. Go ahead.
Cool Runnings.
Not on the list.
Really? Okay. Miracle.
Not on the list. This list, I was very surprised by this list.
I just don't even think I know.
Here we go. Top 5 that I found from a couple movie list, top 5 Olympic movies. Number 5, Munich. Number 4, Downhill Racer. Number 3, Olympic from 1938. Never heard of it. Number 2, One Day in September. Number 1, Foxcatcher. These are all bummer movies.
Foxcatcher with Channing Tatum and Steve Carell is an Olympic movie? I was so surprised
by this list. So I did my own list, and I got D2, Cool Runnings, Miracle.
The 2 I guessed immediately.
The Cutting Edge.
Okay.
Blades of Glory.
Ooh, yeah.
And Chariots of Fire.
All right.
But why didn't those make the top 5 list?
Yeah, I don't
get that at all.
Dude, is Munich is that an Olympic movie? Munich? Isn't that a movie
One Day
with
in September are about the Olympic terrorist year. So these are all bummers.
Well, what about Richard Jewell? Wasn't that at the 1994 Olympics? That movie was dope.
I could be in there.
That movie was dope.
I was very surprised of the odd range of Olympic movies that are out there. Do you agree with this or not? The Olympics are solely based on swimming, gymnastics, and track and field. It seems like those are the varsity.
I would say those are the foundation. That's like the the largest Legos in the set. Yeah. It's like the base. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree that it's definitely, Michael Phelps really elevated swimming back in, 2000, 2004, 2008, whenever he was ripping it up in the pool. And that, I think, brought in a lot of eyes. So I think people really gravitate towards swimming. We've got Simone Biles in gymnastics, and we've had Gabby Douglas in the past, and just a lot of stars in the gymnastics space. And you can see their face. They're not wearing helmets or anything. And you can see their personality, and that elevated gymnastics. And then track and field has always been kind of like the Carl Lewis's and the stars, where you can Michael Johnson, Maurice Green, Usain Bolt, you can really see their personality and stuff. So I agree with that. And they're the most like individualized of the team sports. Like you can have individual stars and it's still a team thing. Whereas like with the water polo team and the basketball team, there's so many kind of people.
Right.
Where you'd have to really dominate. Like even with the dream team, you don't really look at one, Barkley was kind of the star of the Olympics, but you don't really look at any of them as being that much better. Whereas in the swimming, like I only know Katie Ledecky. I only know Simone Biles. So they really are the cream of the crop. And I think I agree.
Yeah. You agree.
I agree.
What about, or also with track and field, swimming, and gymnastics, it's the most screen time too. There's like a lot of events.
Yeah, you're right. Because
so much good.
Think back to high school or middle school when we did track. There's 17 different things for each thing. 4 by 100, 100 by 400, 1 by 400, 400 by 400 by 1600. And that's just for the gals.
Is that? That's for the ladies.
Yeah.
We call that the Widowmaker. But does it bother you at all? Like when we take a sport and then we dice it up into 12 other sports. So if you're
what do you mean?
If you're good at the 800-meter swim and then we have the 400-meter swim,
right?
It doesn't stand to reason that if you can go 800 meters, you can also go fast for 400 meters. So either let's go one sport or one event for swimming, or fuck it, everything. And I say that because 3-on-3 basketball is now in the Olympics.
Right.
So what about a slam dunk contest?
Well, yeah.
What about a 3-point contest?
I have that for later on.
Okay, yeah, I won't step on your toes.
No, you're fine. It's not a dunk contest, but it's something similar.
Okay, we'll save that.
All right.
Let's talk opening ceremony.
Opening ceremonies. I did catch it. I liked the emotional element and just kind of the creative. Mike Tirico and the woman that was, little Big Mac burp, and the woman, I can't remember her name, but she was one of the moderators for one of the debates. I didn't know either.
Yeah.
But she does a good job. She does a good job. And they were just really breaking down what the creative team wanted to convey with the message of, if you want the Olympics, you got to build it. And they did all the carpentry. I liked the performance of it. As a comic, I'm sure that's where I would have gravitated to, regardless of the quality, is the emotional and creative element of the production. Like I like the people running in place and just like the fake treadmill or the real treadmill, but at like one treadmill in the middle of the stadium, and then it just cuts to like the president going, "Oh, good job!" Like it was just very, very par for the course. Like dumb COVID, nobody's there. It's huge, and it's just like I think there should be people there, but they're not. The country's not doing well, so it's just like it was emotional, and I like the creative behind it because of everything that's going on.
They should have had, because they had the guy on the treadmill, they had the lady on the exercise bike, because they were signifying athletes trying to work out at home.
At home, yeah.
Because of the last year.
Yeah.
But they also should have had like a treadmill and exercise bike just hung with like clothes.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like we all don't work out on the machine.
Or milk, someone doing curls with milk jugs.
Or someone sitting in a chair with their laptop but putting their feet up on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Because that was the give up on the treadmill 6 weeks after owning it. So that was kind of cool. But you like the production of it. I didn't see that coming from you.
Yeah, I did.
You like the actual like kind of.
They were building all of the stages all throughout the Tokyo Olympic Village and all that stuff. I just thought it was cool, and I like that they were guiding us. Toriko and the other woman were like, all right, now this is what the director told us.
We didn't have that. We would have been at a loss. You're right.
Yeah. So that was really nice because I kind of got it, like with the carpentry and the working out, but the way that they really brought it together and what like each outfit and or like piece of equipment symbolized was a nice touch. I thought it was a good production, even though the creative director got fired like 4 days before the performance.
Really?
Because he made a Holocaust joke in his stand-up in like 1990.
Oh, really?
And it resurfaced. Yeah, I don't know. How does that stuff even who has tape from 1990? Anyway,
I don't know.
But hey, whoever they brought in to wrap it up and get that creative, nice work.
Wow. So
and he or she did it without saying that the Holocaust wasn't real.
Well, maybe that's what they cut out.
Maybe that's why the Germans don't have any medals.
Here's what I got in my notes. I had opening ceremonies. I had attire choices. It seems like athletes either go with like the suit, or a track suit, or a couple of them will do like the cultural garb. Like you'll see like some sort of like Nigeria will have like kind of the big one piece thing. But USA chose what I like to call boat chic. Yeah, they had like this polo and then a blazer over it. I thought it worked. I thought it was cool.
Little pretentious.
A little bit.
It shows like,
ugly
hey,
American.
We have more vaccines, yay, than everybody.
One of them pulled a little vaccine out of their lapel.
Broke it in front of the other countries.
That would have been awesome. Then I had NBC is still milking there's a path guy.
Kornacki.
I don't think there's anything they won't put him in front of.
Well, I heard a story. NBC really likes that he can make complicated things easy for the lowest common denominator to understand. So on Olympic night, he was basically like, so this candidate right here, you see he has 46 votes, right? So he needs 45 to get to that. So he was literally saying like, you need this to get that. Otherwise, if A, then B, therefore C. He's legitimately there for lack of a better place, the idiots in Youngstown, Ohio that don't know their head from their ass. He's there for them. And not only do they need him and like him, so do the elites. So he's perfect.
That is perfect.
He's non-threatening. He's white, but he's not. He's nerdy white. Glasses, intellectual, good track record, politics, sports, and I think he's got some weather. I think he can do some weather.
They dress him down a lot too. He's dressed like a schlub.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look
they want him to look like he is an adjunct professor that has one night class once a month.
Yeah.
And then he's going through divorce the rest of the time.
Definitely TA vibe.
Yes.
They're like, he's the professor's right-hand man. He'll take over this class in 2 seconds. I did a little.
He's really chomping at the bit. He's hoping that, he hopes the teacher gets COVID.
He loves it. Yeah. He loves it. Teacher's got COVID. He's like, he's right there. No, I got it. I did some research on Steve Kornacki.
Steve Kornacki.
He has a degree from Boston University in film and television. So this doesn't surprise us now.
All the good colleges are in Boston, yet bunch of wackos up there.
He's done the 2020 election. That's where he got popular. He's done Football Night in America. He did the Kentucky Derby, and now he's doing the Summer Olympics. So what next? What do you think Steve Kornacki's talents can be brought to next?
I think he should host Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Can he? You think he can?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just because I think he's a gamer. And that's, if you listen to any, podcast or read any books or stories, because I'm a big fan of Saturday Night Live, you can hear all the stories of what the people in there like. And they like people who are down to just try stuff. Their favorite person is Miley Cyrus because she won't say no. She'll say yes to everything. That's why she comes back and hosts and musical guests 8 times a year. Kornacki would be great because I think they would go, hey, do you want to put on a nacho cheese suit and jump into the Hudson River? And he'd be like, let's give it a shot.
I'll do it.
Yeah. And then they can also do the bits where he's doing the board, and he could do like a dating profile, break it down. Like, all right, so you see here, Kirsten loves beaches and sunsets, but we see David over here, and I just think there's a lot of room to work with. And he's with NBC.
Oh, right.
Easy
cross promotion.
Get him really big in the Olympics and then come back on season 49 or whatever.
Yeah.
Kornacki with musical guests, the Black Keys. And then he comes out with the keys and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see here, the Black Keys is performing tonight. Miley performed last week. We see tonight the Black Keys. Ladies and gentlemen, take it away. The Black Keys for a 3-minute and 25-second performance. The Black Keys.
And at some point during the SNL, he can bring up the board and be like, okay, right here, the last sketch died. We lost viewership by 35%.
Yeah, sponsorships, advertisements.
The shareholders are extremely pissed. we may only be at the tip of the iceberg for Kornacki. I was thinking Oscars.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's middle of the road.
He won't mess it up.
There's no offense to him at all. And it just might be an easy way to go for Kornacki's talents.
And he won't say La La Land, right?
He'll get it right. Last note I had, I think it's an obvious one, was the greased up Tongan guy.
Right. I saw something cool. I'm sure you saw this, but he's also a Taekwondo. He also competed in the Olympics. And I think it was either karate or Taekwondo. He lost and didn't perform well at all. But he's the greased up Tongan guy that everybody saw at the opening ceremonies. He actually competed in the Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun story, right? Didn't do well, but still.
Yeah. Well,
double duty. Well, yeah, he was probably so preoccupied with carrying the flag and doing his big greased up Tongan bit. It's like, how do you have time for the creative and the physicality?
He was a big hit. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more memes of Tongan guy going around the internet. It seems like everybody loved greased up Tongan guy.
Yeah.
He was a big
This is like his 3rd Olympics too.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they said. He was in Rio, and then he was in Lundy's. Or what was the one in 2016? Was that Rio?
Rio was 2016.
So he was at Lundy's and then he was in Rio's.
Overall, kind of a tamped down opening ceremony, but enjoyable.
Yeah, enjoyable. Nobody's there. Kind of sad.
And also, when we watched it, we already knew what happened.
True. There's all the news comes, and Jilly Biden's there. You'd love to have Joe there, but what can you do? He's got bigger fish to fry.
The bloom is off the rose when we know it's recorded.
Yeah, the bloom is off the. That's the bloomin' onion is no longer available.
Onion is off the menu.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts
from
the U.S. I'll run through these.
Yeah, let's do it.
USA basketball loses to France.
They were up 7 points with under 3 minutes left and lost. I don't see that happening again.
Yeah.
So it gives me confidence.
They killed Iran the other day.
Yeah, they won by 1,000.
I think they scored. I wrote it down somewhere. They scored 120 points.
It was 120-60, I think.
Wow. If you lose to the U.S., if the U.S. loses, you don't want to be that next team that plays the U.S. That's bad. Youngest athlete in the game is a 12-year-old table tennis player.
I don't get it. How is there something to be said about the lack of development in the brain? Is kind of like when you're injured and shock kicks in and you don't even realize you're injured. Does she not even realize that she is playing for a country at the Olympics? Like, does it even set in at all? Because I don't know how you could do it. I don't even know how I could do it at 32 years old. Yeah. Let alone 12.
I think it works to her advantage.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Because
it's got to.
Just can focus. She doesn't know the weight.
She doesn't know the weight of the world yet.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She's not waiting on the world to change.
No, she is the change.
Yeah.
She's just there to play table tennis.
Okay. Hanging. Okay. Well, yeah, 12. When I was 12,
I couldn't have competed in the Olympics and
didn't even. I just feel like if you don't have pubes, can you be in the Olympics?
Solid point. That's
probably. But this is a girl, so she's probably good. They got a little weird. I apologize.
Oh, I have a. Oh wait, next segment. I got a weird one.
Okay.
Skateboarding is in the Olympics this year. First time ever.
That was cool. So
You're down with it.
I am, yeah, because I love all the sports that we're the best at. Just because it just is like, come on, it makes me hope that then it'll have the other countries get better, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh man, the Americans, they have another one coming. Now it's the border with the skates. Oh, we have to catch up. And then I don't know,
other wheels on their boards now.
The best innovation or challengers spark innovation, or whatever the thing is called, where it's like if someone's bringing their best, the other person's going to try to top that. So I think it lends itself to cooler things coming, and it doesn't necessarily always have to be brought to the table or created in America. It just is more relatable for us. But I think it's cool, especially when it's a sport. I think it is because I saw a guy do a really cool trick. The board bailed and he flew and fell into the railing to a point where I'm like, there's no way you survive. So if there's a chance you can die, it's sport.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's
chance you can die in sport.
There's a chance of serious injury. Like in golf, you can take a ball to the dome. Technically, it's the least sporty of all the sports, but it's just like we got to be pretty liberal on what's a sport nowadays.
Yeah.
We do, because it's good to have a lot of sports. I don't know why people are always like, that's not a sport. What do you want it? Are you getting residuals on if it's a sport or not?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Why does this upset you? Makes me think they're upset about something.
Yeah, else. They hate life.
I remember this argument with NASCAR a long time ago, if NASCAR's a sport or not.
Of course.
And you could say, well, it's competition. It's like, but are they burning any calories? Like, but is that the definition of a sport?
Right.
Is to burn calories?
Yeah.
We never will come to an answer.
No, I think NASCAR is a sport. It's a huge property that is, you have to be somewhat talented to do it. And it does take physical exertion because you're sweating and your mentals.
Yeah, I agree.
You got to have working body parts to make it work. You can't be like a paraplegic and be in NASCAR.
Gotta have oil changed. That's important. With the skateboarding,
you're not into it.
I have a lot of thoughts on the skateboarding. If you're into skating, number one, you're already sort of mad at traditional sports.
Okay.
So all these skateboarders in the Olympics, they act like they don't want to be there because they're skateboarders.
That's the culture.
That's the culture.
Right.
So now it's kind of like I saw one skateboarder had the helmet, but she didn't buckle the strap. So it's like, hey man, I don't have to conform to your uniform rules, man. And then we had a couple skateboarders I saw with AirPods in their ears.
That's probably the focus, but it's also a big
weird.
F you to the like.
Right. It's like I don't want to
be
the
Olympics.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm only here because you want me to be here.
I'm actually listening to a podcast about how helium is actually going to take over the world.
I'm listening to a podcast about a podcast. It's about another podcast about me not wanting to be here. So thank you. But here's what we could add to the skateboarding in the true spirit of the sport. You know how if you're into skateboarding as a kid, you're getting kicked out of a lot of places.
Yeah, detention.
Well, you're skateboarding on like park rails or museum steps and they kick you out.
Table benches.
We need the sport to take them to some public place or some government place and hold the competition there and see how long it takes for them to be shooed off.
Yeah, have a cop come on. What are you kids doing? Get out of here.
Chase them, and then they got to run from the cop. Yes, that should be in the notes for future skateboarding events. Let's see, what else did I have? My pet peeve. My cycling one, they had the road race cycling the day after the opening ceremonies. It was 235K. There was no time to like party or enjoy the opening ceremonies. You have to ride this huge long bike race.
Oh, are you saying this as a cycler, as if you were there and it's like, really, you're going to make me get on the bike? I didn't even get to party the night. I
didn't even get to enjoy the opening ceremonies.
All right. That's a fair gripe, I think.
My boat chic. And then I have to ride for 5 hours the next day. That was my one gripe.
Okay. That's a fair gripe piece.
What else do I have?
How do you feel about the touching the wall?
Okay, swimming.
Yeah.
Another thing with swimming, we have so much technology. We have the suits, then we have all the training, we have all the events, but them finishing the race is solely based on them touching a wall.
Yep.
there's no like technology we can think of to where they actually finish the distance. And then the little dude, the Olympic dude in the suit, just looks over the edge of the pool and goes, yeah, he touched it.
This is fair.
It seems so old school.
I don't have a fix for it. So that's why I don't have that big of a problem with it.
What about lasers?
I like the that moment when the hand goes up, kind of like Joker coming out of the bat in Batman 89, where it's just like, oh, at that last minute. And like that girl from Alaska, that was such an awesome moment.
I like how the athlete sort of has to judge it or decide, do I take one more stroke and then reach for the wall, or do I just extend?
Right.
But what if they had a buzzer? What if they had like a little buzzer that have to hit, like in American Gladiators from a long time ago?
That's a good
and
call.
That would stop it. That would be interesting to me. Lastly, okay, let's have the basketball conversation. There's 3-on-3 basketball in the Olympics. I watched it. I watched the women's one.
It's different.
They're not even on a full court. They made
it's a half court. Yeah.
And then the funniest part is they have to backcourt the ball.
Yeah. It's like playing a half court game.
This is a half court game. It makes me want to watch Above the Rim.
Yeah.
From the 90s. And we need Tupac to coach an inner city team. We need the one dude who was good in college but flunked out to coach the other team. So I don't know about 3-on-3 basketball. So this is where I say we go all or nothing. 3-on-3, yes. But then we get slam dunk contest, skills competition, 3-point contest.
Yeah, if we're gonna go that hard.
Trick shot contest.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Horse, like a horse type deal.
Horse would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then we could have, for the slam dunk, we could have props or no props. So like, do you want to add a trampoline? Do you want to jump over the Kia?
Yeah.
Over the free throw line? So
top score.
What do you think? Add basketball events or keep the purity of the game?
I would probably choose to keep the purity of it just because it would be too much. If we were going to do a full all-star weekend type Olympics, I mean, if they really got it nice and structured, I think it would be cool, but I'm 50-50 on it. I can't tell which way I'm leaning.
It's pie in the sky idea.
Yeah.
At this point, but I do think it's cool. I like when Olympic events essentially have a mini season within the Olympics, because so many Olympic events are one event and you're done. The cycling road race is one race. Whoever wins. The marathon is whoever wins. So what basketball, baseball, soccer, they essentially have a season within the Olympics, and then they get to play each other a bunch of times. But it builds good drama. But it also is cool because imagine if we had the East-West All-Stars in the NBA and they played a whole season. Imagine if we had the West Coast of the country, the Midwest of the country, the South, East Coast, and that was your team.
Right.
That would be sort of weird, but interesting.
That would be interesting. I think that would be really interesting.
You would play based on where you were born. Maybe NBA should adopt that.
Yeah.
That's right. So LeBron has to be Ohio.
Yep.
Who else? The international players are going to get tough. Maybe that would be our draft.
Yeah.
Is the regions would draft an international player. Yeah, that's an option.
Okay.
Definite option.
Like it.
My last point, I can't figure out what Michael Phelps looks like.
Yeah, he's got a lot of like facial hair and just kind of like charisma, but not. Like he's handsome, but not.
Yeah.
If that makes where it's just like I can't tell if he's a really attractive, ugly guy or a really ugly, attractive guy.
Yeah, I think you hit on the head.
It's just super confusing. Like, is he sexy?
The beard.
Yeah,
Why don't they trim his beard?
He's never been well groomed. He's kind of like gross and like all those like when people kind of like dedicate themselves to one thing religiously, other aspects of their I guess human accoutrement lacks. Like I just remember like the food he ate and just like he'd miss meetings and like everybody blamed it on the weed, and it was always just like, no, he's just like really dedicated to swimming and everything else kind of falls by the wayside. Like, did you ever see Free Solo, the guy that climbed El Capitan without anything on?
No.
He was a complete nightmare of a human being that ate all of his meals with a spatula because his entire existence was getting to the top of this mountain in Yosemite. He lost relationships and lost his like everything because he was so dedicated to this. But damn, he was the best climber I've ever seen. And he reminded me of Michael Phelps.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that when they're focused.
Yeah.
I just don't know why Phelps can't get someone to dress him or
Yeah.
someone to trim.
And maybe he is, and
Maybe
that's
he
the
is.
problem, because he's not telling him what he's comfortable in. He's not being honest. Because I could see that a lot of these people get stylists, but then they just do what the stylist wants them, and it's just like, I'm not. You got to be like, I'm not comfortable.
I'm gonna go with you on that. I think somebody's styling him, and they're not doing a good job.
Yeah, they're just not doing a good job.
Phelps is kind of like,
because
whatever.
He's probably way more comfortable in tracksuity type. You know, he's big, he's long, and he sits down, and it's just like,
are weird.
They're just like human dolphins.
Yeah,
really hairless, long, and just kind of.
They don't have a waist.
Nope.
Huge shoulders.
Yeah. Massive backs.
Huge backs. And then they do the grossest things to warm up. Like,
this is how they walk.
They walk weird.
Yeah.
They're with the dudes. The swim shorts are too low. Like, we're seeing too much under the belly button skin.
I see what you're saying.
That's off-putting. And then they do these weird things to warm up where they flap themselves.
Yeah, flappies.
That looks weird to me. To me, Michael Phelps, he looks like if Cat Stevens had a hip son, because he's got this weird beard. He looks
Cat Stevens.
He has this over gelled hair, but he's pretty good on the mic and with the information. So it's just, we're going to be so confused by this for the next 18 years. Okay, I have some questions for you.
Yeah, what do you got?
Questions. Week 1 of the Olympics. What sport would you root against America in? This is the traitor to your country.
Is this a hypothetical or like right now? Or...
I'll go with right now.
Okay.
Who are you rooting for that is in America?
I think any of the Asian countries I will root for, just after a tough sledding with the slurs and the
so you're going
and the xenophobia.
Sympathetic pick.
Yeah, I'm going with the sympathetic pick. I wrote down, like, in a very hypothetical world, if we had football, American football at the Olympics, I would root for the other teams, the other countries, because it would be the most lopsided like they tried to show if the NFL player, like, who would make, like, other countries couldn't even field a team based on NFL players. I mean, they could field a team with their people, but if they wanted to use actual NFL players, there was only like 11 that would even have ever like been that good in the league. And our team was like Patrick Mahomes, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyree. Yeah. So it was just like, that would be the only one where it was like, we're gonna win. It would be like in 92. I'm not gonna root for their team, but it would be pretty cool to see them get beat.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool to see that dream team actually lose a game. Not a meaningful one, but to be like, somebody actually beat them.
So you're going for the underdog.
Yeah, because I always kind of like that underdog sense of it. So that's where I'd go. But right now, I'm rooting for Japan and China and Korea. The city of Tokyo. I'm rooting for the city of Tokyo. Sorry, I just had a Big Mac. I can't think that well.
Sympathetic pick.
Yeah, what about you?
I like when an Eastern European wrestler dude wins.
Like a Czech guy, or a Slovenian.
Slovenia, Czechoslovakia. Yeah. I like when they win one of the wrestling, the Greco wrestling. Yeah. Because it feels like if they don't win, they're going to get
they're a Polish guy is just going to come up.
Polish is good. Yeah.
Just put a silencer to the side of their head.
Right. I feel like their family is in a suitcase. And if they lose, that they throw the suitcase in the ocean. If they win, they let them out.
Yeah.
Because they're the happiest.
Yeah.
When they win something. So I go Eastern European, any country wins a wrestling event. Maybe even one of the weightlifting events, like the one where they lifted over their heads or something. They just seem the most excited to win. Those guys. So
yeah, you're right.
I go for one of them. That's the Traitor to Our Country award.
Oh, Traitor to Our Country award. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one where we root against America. Who has the best flag?
So I went with this after the opening ceremony, and I got some backstory. I think Japan, with the red circle that represents the sun and the rising sun, and I like the optimism that brings. Brazil is a eye catcher. Brazil is like that flashy girl in college that's just like, whoa. It's the green with the yellow and the flat and like the and it's just like really jungly and Amazon-y. I really like that. But
you know what I liked about also, along with the opening ceremonies, they have their flag. Everybody's coming in pretty like polite. They're walking in, they're waving. They introduce Argentina. They're all dancing.
Mm-hmm.
The party is started 45 minutes ago.
Buenos Aires gets down.
They were dancing. Yeah. The flag I like is the South Africa flag.
Yeah, South Africa.
It's got like a sideways triangle. It's got multiple colors.
Is there orange in it? What's all in it? Is it green, orange, white, or am I thinking black?
Green, red.
Yeah.
It's pretty intricate of a flag. That's pretty cool. Some countries do this. Some countries adopt a secondary color that isn't in their flag. Like, you ever notice the Dutch always have orange?
Yeah.
Yet their flag, it doesn't have any.
Yeah,
orange.
You're right.
Belgium puts a light blue backing on their kits and their uniforms and stuff. There's no light blue in the Belgian flag. It's just black, white, black, red, and yellow is their flag. So some countries will take on another color. Italy goes light blue on their stuff. And then they'll have like the little tricolor flag.
Italy has a cool flag too.
Italy has a cool flag. I don't know why they don't use it more. But yet Italy always does this light blue sort of backing on their stuff. So there's a lot of like artistic choices that are made with some of these countries. Dutch with the orange. But they're just like, that's our color.
Yeah. They use it. They use it in soccer too. That's
right. Yeah. Soccer is a big one. So flag. What about most underrated sport?
I went with handball here.
Why handball underrated?
It's very fun. Have you ever played it?
No.
Oh, it's just so fun.
What do I need to know about handball?
It's basically soccer with your hands. It's just a lot easier for people who never were able to do soccer. So it's just like, I think it would be one of those sports that if it got more looks, more people would be into it. So handball is my most underrated sport.
I don't know if mine is underrated or not, but I think the best sport, if you were to be a part of, would be beach volleyball.
Yeah, dude.
I
almost put that down.
You're on the beach.
And it's fun.
It's fun.
The only thing is you can't get up. You can't jump. It's so hard to jump in sand. It's so hard to jump.
Yeah. You're barefoot.
Yeah. I wish they'd get some beers out there. Like, it's not really beach volleyball until somebody's drinking some beers.
They get to wear the cool Oakleys.
Yeah. They're like always just like putting stuff in there. The sunscreening.
Right. They're total beach
glistening.
Because they're always like,
they're 6'7". They jump. They can still jump somehow.
You know what you need to add to the beach volleyball? Every 17 minutes, somebody from further down the beach is like soccer ball or beach ball needs to like bounce into their court and they have to stop the game. And they're like, oh, sorry, ball, little help. And they have to throw the ball back to the like dad or something, or the little kid. That would be necessary.
Yeah.
Every beach volleyball has had to endure that at some point. So I go beach volleyball. Okay, here's a weird one. We got COVID protocols. So athletes who test positive, obviously they don't participate.
Mm-hmm.
What if we took all those athletes and we had our own COVID Olympics?
Yeah, like a COVID island.
Yeah. And we had Olympics. I don't know if we have events or we just have them wrestle.
Yeah.
COVID Olympics.
I'm at the point where I'm so sick of the word COVID.
Yeah, we all
just are. the everything about it that no. I want go away.
Be done with this.
Everybody go away. Get the vaccine, and that's it. I just because I feel bad enough for them already. They're not going to be able to have spectators because it's COVID, unless all the spectators are also infected. But then we're just an incubator for the infection. So I don't know. I don't know how to play this.
I think
I'm not an epidemiologist.
I get bummed out for the athletes because these are large in part amateurs.
Yeah.
So like the Michael Phelps of the world, this is a huge opportunity for them to get endorsements.
Mm-hmm. It can make your life. It can make your generational life.
And these guys don't even get to compete. So I get kind of bummed out. That's why I like the idea of the COVID Olympics.
Yeah.
And they can all compete. We get everybody. Audience members.
Yeah.
Cameramen.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I feel bad for him too.
We got to test
Tarico. I feel bad for him too. Yeah,
Tarico gets COVID.
Tariq might have it.
Don't feel bad. Now you get to announce the COVID Olympics. Yeah. Okay. Take a sport, leave a sport.
Take a sport, leave
what
a
sport would you take out of the Olympics? What sport would you put into the Olympics?
So I would take out weightlifting.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it. We can go watch Pumping Iron with Schwarzenegger in the 70s. We can go. Cool. You can lift a bunch of weight. I don't think that needs to be televised. I guess that would be the one I'd take out. I'm not big on weightlifting. I would add home run derby.
Oh,
because look at all the talent around the world in that, and then you wouldn't have to do all the teams. It could be an individual thing, kind of like the shot. You could essentially put it in with track and field, where it's like a power competition. And you've got guys in the Dominican, you've got people in America, you've got people in Cuba, you've got Eastern European players are kind of somewhat on the rise. I think baseball's not that big. So and we don't usually get any of our daddies, like any of the big boppers in the Olympics. They just don't play usually because it's obviously in the summer and they're playing. But if you did a home run derby, maybe some guys would go.
Oh, I didn't even think about home run.
I think that would be fun.
Talking
slam dunk. Yeah, that's what made me
think of home run derby.
I just think that would be the easiest to do. It's just two people on the field at once. I mean, obviously the basketball slam dunk would be easy too. You could do both. That. You could do both of those. But get weightlifting out of there if I have to get rid of one.
Okay.
I will almost said fencing, but that's so dynamic. But it's also one of those things where I've seen it.
Yeah.
But swimming, I've seen swimming. I've seen track. I don't know. I don't think I'd take anything out. I'd just add home run derbs.
I like home run derby. Here's what I like in a sport is just rawness. Like it's easy to know who won, who did it. No judges. Every time we have judges, we're ripe for controversy. And I just like pure strength as an Olympic competition. Who ran the fastest? Who threw the furthest? Who did this the best? Who lifted the most over their head? It just seems purely Olympic. So I like the home run derby.
You're definitely right.
I like the home run derby. Here's what I got. I would take out, maybe it's already out. Remember the walking competition? They would just like, you can't take a sport.
You couldn't have
it easier.
You couldn't have a full foot off the ground.
Right. Yeah. Right. I could lose that.
I don't know how to do that.
It also didn't make sense that we had walking athletes who weren't also in the marathon. It would make sense that like, if you're good at the marathon.
They should have just put on Heelys and they wouldn't have to lift either of their feet and just glide all like, you remember those where it had the little wheel in the shoe and you could just go into the cafeteria and just cruise right over to the milk. That would be the little kind of, performance. Yeah, that'd be the I'm sure the Russians have already thought of this, but they put in we put the wheel in your shoe and you go twice as fast as the Americans. You won't do this, you give me catch and double bake.
Your family is in trunk.
Your family, they in trunk of car. You won't drive car? It's my car.
Take out the walking. Again, maybe they already took it out.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm going to change mine from weightlifting to the walking.
It seems so un-Olympic sport-like. Yeah. But this was an easy one for me. Okay. Add MMA.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate.
That's what I'm saying. I saw the Tongan guy do something similar. They had a ton of padding on, not nearly the level of MMA, but go ahead.
Well, I just want to know what country has the baddest ass dude or girl.
I think that's going to be Samoa. They're like notorious. Is that the name? I'm not sure if that's the name of the country. Samoa?
I don't know. I don't even know for sure.
But they're like they have like the fighting culture on lock, I think, in terms of just like fearlessness.
Right. And like
or that MMA could just be a Fast and the Furious movie.
It's pretty international.
Yes.
We have lots of international
Ireland
there.
Scotland.
So we put all those guys in and we just see who can kick the other country's ass. That seems like the most pure Olympic sport. Just go fight. And we see who wins, gold, silver, bronze. So I don't know why MMA can't be in there. That seems like a natural step. Maybe it's one Olympics away. Okay, I got one more question, curveball for you.
Okay.
This one I'm calling Misogynist Corner.
Okay.
What sport lends to the most attractive female athletes?
I think usually the pundits would say gymnastics. That's Seinfeld did an episode on it, how they're the sexiest beings in the universe and everybody wants to date a gymnast. So, but I'm going to go with track just based on makeup. You're exercising.
What event in track though?
Running.
Just running?
Just this, any of the, I would hurdlers because you got a little bit in the backside, you jump a little bit and you run. That's what my girlfriend was. So
hurdler?
Yeah, she was a hurdler.
I would say the gymnast is a weird choice.
I'm telling you, man. Everybody loves the gymnast.
I agree with your logic. Except when I see the gymnasts, I don't find any of them attractive.
Well, they're all 13.
That's the second thing I was gonna say. We need the gymnast age in the corner of the
Yeah,
screen.
you got to put it in
all
there
the time.
so that
don't just show me in the beginning. Show me all the time because I feel disgusting watching these. Women.
You're like, I gotta Google her. What is it? Right. 13. Yeah, damn it.
If they're 19, I'm even grossed out. I need to see 21 or 22 so I don't feel bad about myself when I'm watching. And I need it on the screen all the time. Mm-hmm. Don't take it off.
Good bit.
So gymnasts is why I rule that out. Swimming, too muscular. So
yeah, like we said, a lot of back, fit,
which I
so
like,
much back,
but too muscular. And then everyone
so much
has
back.
Chlorine damage.
See, I like that. I like a good chlorine smell, and I like an off bleach.
Okay.
Like I like it when it's like, oh man, your hair. What color is that? Is it white?
Could be cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Obvious choice, beach volleyball.
Right. I'm not going little tall. Little tall.
I'm not. Yeah, right. I'm not going beach volleyball for a misogynist corner. I'm going pole vaulter. Pole vaulter, they're super fit. They essentially strip down to their underwear to do it.
Yeah, you gotta be light.
They gotta be light. They're all ripped. And then, like you said, they all get decked out in the makeup.
Yeah.
To do the event. Yeah, their hair is a certain way. They have the eyeshadow, they have the lipstick.
Right.
So I go pole vaulter for my best sport to be a female athlete in that makes you look hot to Patrick America.
Okay.
All right.
Good call.
Misogynist corner.
Misogynist corner.
Okay. I got one more detail that I had nothing for until last night. Every good Olympics needs a controversy. Mm-hmm. We didn't really have a controversy until last night when the gymnast Simone Biles drops out of the team competition. She just takes herself out. And then I'm like, what's going on here? And she stepped out of the competition due to her mental health. Mm-hmm. So a couple of quotes from it. She said she was so stressed she couldn't even nap. Mm-hmm. I like when you can't nap. I love
the world.
When you can't nap.
That's every day.
I can't even nap.
No one has taken a nap and woken up better.
Yeah.
There's just, they always talk about that. You need to take a 20-minute nap. You'll feel great. And no, regardless of how long you go down, you feel worse when you get up. And I don't care if anybody tries to fight me on that.
Maybe that's what Simone was experiencing. She took a nap, felt worse, and then she couldn't take a nap.
Yeah.
So well, she drops out.
I think you nailed it when you said something fishy.
Something. Here's what I think could be.
Okay.
Is the fix in? ? It already happened. They got the silver.
Yeah, the Russians won.
So was the fix in? Because she was the heavy favorite.
Your family in trunk. You drop out now. What family gets it? I think that might be that might even be too Hollywood to be true, but that's usually the story.
Yeah.
Like if somebody told you that Nancy Kerrigan's knees would get bashed in by a baseball bat from two Chechnyan hitmen orchestrated by another contestant named Tanya Harding, would you believe it?
No, I would not believe it. I would not believe
it. So if somebody goes, a Russian guy got a hold of Simone Biles' cousin who was in town, has her in the trunk, says, you pull out or she gets it.
Yep.
Would you be shocked? Yeah, or would you believe it?
I would believe that more than
yes,
absolutely.
To take a right, like
so you're with me that the fix might be in.
I definitely think that there's a possibility. I know mental health and awareness for mental health is taking the forefront of society right now.
That's the perfect ruse.
That's why it is a perfect ruse where they go, you get on stage and you tell them that you have a bad week.
We don't have to break bones anymore.
Yeah. You tell them
you're claustrophobic. You don't like
you can take naps. You couldn't take nap, then you come back and see me. And if not, I take care of your sister that's in the trunk of my car.
You cannot get a refill on Ambien prescription. You cannot compete. It's like, I'm out. It was very strange because she goes out of the competition and then she's on the sidelines cheering on the teammates. And she's like, you got this. So she doesn't seem like she's having an anxiety attack.
It must be that attention to detail is just too much. And she just doesn't. I get it from the sense of just not wanting to. If it was her first Olympics, I'd be pretty bummed because it's like she's the best in the world. But she's been slaying it for us for like 13 years. I'm fine with her being like, I'm not doing great. I got to bounce.
The timing is so weird, though. It's not like she's a rookie or not used
She might not be healthy and doesn't want to show that she could be possibly beat. That's something, too. It could be like a pride thing.
She had a really weird qualifying where she wasn't on her game.
She might just not be doing well.
Maybe got in her head and she was like, I'm going to step down.
Face.
I'm going to step down. Number one, this is the team. So we still have the individual stuff coming.
Yeah.
So she may say like, hey girls, do your best, but old Simone Biles,
right.
I gotta perform for the individual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of an interesting early Olympics controversy.
Right.
I hope we have at least 1 to 1.5 more controversies.
Yeah. Oh, we will.
Because that's the best.
We're gonna have to go to the tape on something. Somebody, a ref's gonna call something out, and we'll have to go to the tape, and it'll be a judgment call.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I like that. I like that a lot because the Olympics does run out of steam at about day 10.
Mm-hmm.
So we need that third act to be something. Okay, that was a controversy. Last segment.
Gold, silver, bronze.
That's right. Week 1, give me your gold, silver, bronze moment of the game. So we'll go, we'll tell each other our gold, silver, bronzes.
So my gold, and I know it's tough to give because there's so many, but I got to give it to Lydia Jacoby's town. They all get the gold for their reaction when she won. Have you seen the video?
Oh no, I didn't.
So she's the girl from Alaska that did the 100-meter freestyle, whatever. I don't really know, but she didn't even have a 100-meter pool to train in her town. She trained on a 50. That's what these kind of stories are insane. So you're
such a sucker for the sentimental.
I'm a story guy. So she's swimming. She's swimming. Miracle. Yep. She's swimming and she's not doing well. And then something happens, man. And she wins at the very last second. And this town, it gave me chills. This town in Alaska, their school looked like an airport hangar because everything in Alaska has to just be from 1956 for some reason. Like, just get it together out there. The sun comes up. You don't have to act like it's always down. Okay. And this whole, everyone's jumping and screaming and cheering like it was like they all won $1 billion. I'm not, the video is mind-blowing how excited they are. And that's my gold for that town. What's your gold?
That. Well, I do love when the TV cuts away to the hometown of them watching. That always works for me. It works when like the family's watching in the living room. It works when they go to a crowd watching the game on a big screen.
It's the best.
And they cheer. Oh, I used to love it when they would go to the college, with the 2 colleges play. One college is away. They would go to the college auditorium where all the students are.
Yeah, my God, yeah.
And it takes them a second for the screen to show that they're on, and then they all go nuts. I will always be on board for the flip the screen to the hometown. So yeah, I love that. That's a good one. I went gold medal moment goes to the Australian swimming coach, who I believe his female athlete wins the gold. He's in the stands and he flips out. He's flipping out. I think the mask breaks on him. And of course, he's got the Australian, like crazy long blonde locks. He's got the sweatsuit.
Oh, I think I did see this guy.
He starts humping the railing at one point out of just sheer joy. But the best part is at one point, he starts flailing so much. There's a little like Asian lady that starts to like corral him back to his corner. And I'm like, there's no corralling this guy, man. You can try, but it's not gonna happen. That was my gold medal moment. He was so jacked.
That's a good pick
for his athlete. He didn't even win for his athlete.
That's perfect. That's how it's got to be, man.
To win gold. So I went Australian swimming coach. Who do you got for silver?
Silver, I'm going with the NBC Sports broadcasting team, mostly Mike Tirico. I think it's Christina Summers. I can't remember her name. She was great, and Kornacki. The 3 of them really making it an enjoyable experience for the not as avid viewer.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I went somewhere along the same lines of TV production. I went silver, Michael Phelps's potential.
Like we said, there's more there.
There's more there. Yeah. I could see him doing commercials for like backcountry. I could see him doing ads for outdoorsy stuff, Peloton. He's got potential. It's just not there yet. He needs a little grooming. He needs a beard trimmer. He needs some better clothes. Couple like hosting gigs he could get into this.
You're like his manager right now.
I think there's a little spark. There's a little spark. Michael Phelps, Cat Stevens' hip son.
Yeah.
Bronze medal moment.
Bronze medal moment is going to be the United States men's basketball team winning by 60 off of a loss, instilling confidence back into the nation that we will win what we are supposed to win and have no business.
Back?
We have no business not even breaking 90 against a team like France. So I think USA basketball being back is the bronze moment because it's not that big of a moment. So I'm going to give it the bronze. But I got to stick with basketball. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah, that's true. We come to the table.
We come hot, ready for basketball because of what happened back in the 80s with the Russians.
If there was an international Thanksgiving dinner, we would come to the table with basketballs.
Absolutely.
That's our sport. That's uniquely ours.
Baseball too, but it doesn't have much of an international. Like there's the Japanese and the Korean leagues and the Cuban
South
leagues,
America
but like
baseball,
nobody globally is just like clamoring to do baseball like basketball. Yeah, like basketball is huge in every country. Yeah, it's easy. It's easy because you're seeing one ball. You're seeing a little ball. In baseball, you got to have gloves, cleats, and
I've seen many videos of Manny Pacquiao playing basketball in the Philippines.
Yeah, they do pickup games down there, and Jordan goes down there and plays.
Really?
Yep.
Plays Manny Pacquiao?
No, he plays in like the Philippines pickup, like in the rich in there. Yeah, it was just this viral TikTok that this kid goes, I was visiting the Philippines with my family, and look who's playing pickup. And it's Jordan, and then there's a bunch of stories came out that he goes down there a lot.
Side note. I think this is a missed opportunity for Aaron Rodgers. When Aaron Rodgers come back to training camp this week, he's been, he's crazy. He does crazy stuff, goes to Hawaii. He should make an appearance at these Olympics.
Yeah, that would be good.
Like they take, 2 days off in training camp for the week. He should be caught in the stands watching a sport. And then that would send the internet crazy. He did it with the Hawaii trip. He did it with Jeopardy. He needs one more controversy in him before the season starts. He needs to go to those Olympics and make an appearance.
Mm-hmm. That's a good call.
Right. He already went to training camp with his crazy glasses, his crazy hair. Yeah. Missed opportunity. I'm calling it. He's going to make an appearance at the Olympics. My bronze medal moment may sound a little obvious. Greased up Tongan guy.
Yeah, Tongi. You're a big fan.
Number one, he's already bronze.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good call. Good call.
Number two, he's buff. He shows up with no shirt. He's got the flag. He killed the appearance. So I got to give him a bronze medal.
Nice.
For that.
What a week.
We're only week one in. We've got the middle of the Olympics, and then we've got the closing ceremonies of the Olympics.
Where people have to put their own medals on.
Right. We're putting our own medals on.
Kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? Isn't that the whole thing where it's just like, put it on me. Come on, I earned this. You got the what is it? The ivy on the vine on your head. Okay, so you're telling me that's not happening, and my family's not here. This sucks.
And my family's in a trunk.
Yeah. Oh, you don't get your own medal. You put it on right now. Otherwise, family in trunk gets laughing gas.
The family gets laughing gas.
Yeah, they're gonna overdose.
Also, when they present the tray of medals, what's to stop the athlete from getting?
You just grab like 6 of them.
Why don't they get them to be like, present you the bronze medal? No.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sucks for you, bro. Well, this was episode 1, week 1 of the Olympics. Sean Leary, no credentials. For myself, Patrick Ramirez. We'll see you for week 2, buddy.
Week 2. Thanks, bro. USA.
Okay, that is episode 1 of our Olympics recap. USA all the way, McDonald's all the way, patriotic gear all the way, possibly. Hey, in studio, how about that? Me and Sean breaking it all down. Glad he could join me, and look for more and more stuff coming up. This show is on my network. This show is also on Sean's network because we're teaming up. If you don't know Sean's show, go to it. Check out his episodes as well. Don't forget, August 10th, virtual show for me, 5:30, flapperscomedy.com, and August 12th, Pomona, California, 7 p.m. See me doing live stand-up comedy, along with some other great comics as well. I want to thank Sean for joining in. I want to thank you, the loyal listener, and keep checking in. We've got more episodes coming, and more running it back coming as well. Take care. We'll see you for week 2.